have a pretty interesting story for you guys, and I'll see if I can lead you into the point I'm going to make here later. So, read here, it says, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked legislation on Thursday that would have reopened most of the federal government impacted by the partial shutdown. Senator Tim Kaine tried to get consent to take up a House-passed bill that would reopen all agencies except the Department of Homeland Security, which is at the center of the shutdown fight, but McConnell objected. The Senate GOP leader didn't explain his objection from the Senate floor, but he has warned for weeks that he will not bring up a government funding bill unless it's the product of an agreement between congressional Democratic leadership and President Trump. The solution to this is a negotiation between the one person in the country who can sign something into law, the President of the United States, and our Democratic colleagues, McConnell said Tuesday, when he blocked the House bill as well as a piece of legislation to fund DHS through February 8th. This marks the third time that McConnell has blocked House-passed government funding bills in the past 2 weeks. Under Senate rules, any senator can ask for consent to vote on or pass a bill, but any senator can object. Roughly a quarter of the government has been shut down since December 22nd, forcing roughly 800,000 federal employees to work without pay or be furloughed. Thursday marks the 27th day of the partial shutdown, with no obvious path to a quick end to the funding fight. So, remember, the 116th, the current session of Congress, has only been in place since the 3rd. We are now on the, what is it today, the 17th? So, in 2 weeks, every couple of days or so on average, McConnell has blocked legislation that would have ended this whole shutdown if it were passed. He has said, no, we're not going to vote on it, screw that. We're not even going to go there. And what I can't help but understand is that the media likes to do this thing where they prop up Trump as the villain and the shutdown is effectively his fault. But here's the thing. When you have a politician who's been around for decades, that's in a position of leadership and that knows the way the game is played, like McConnell, it seems hard-pressed to figure out why they would not discuss and talk about his role in this anymore. Like, literally everything that Trump has done has only been possible because of McConnell. The tax cuts, the 2 Supreme Court justices, all of this has occurred with McConnell at the helm, being the main person that is sort of not puppeteering, but doing the dirty work and receiving much less credit, good or bad, for doing it. Unfortunately, we have this polarized media where they get called left-wing and all that, and I've seen people try to correctly refer them as establishment, and what that means is that they'll go after Trump for swearing and, putting out some tweet that they don't like or that they find objectionable. But as far as actually being pissed off about this policy and the person who's doing it, and the fact that he's done other things that a majority of people would say are pretty, god-awful, forget about it, because they don't go after establishment figures, which is what McConnell is. But again, him and Trump have formed this alliance where basically anything Trump wants, it's all been through him. And this shutdown is really where I thought people would kind of start to realize that. But the media isn't talking about it. Some of the politicians are a little bit. You had Ocasio-Cortez go in his headquarters, his office rather, and ask, where's Mitch? But these are all things that are directly have his stench attached to it. And it's time for the media to realize that.